Hello! Really quick, I want to say thank you so much for 10,000 subs. That's a lot of people. I still remember crying when I got 10,000 views on a video, The Ultimate Nemesis Guide, back in the day, and it's genuinely incredulous to me that I got here. I'm not great with words a lot of the time, but seriously, this means a lot to me. Okay, back to the subject at hand. Dead by Daylight had their 10-year anniversary event a few weeks ago. Happy birthday! And I'm a little bit late to the whole making a video on it thing because I was spending time with my beautiful partner. Did you know that I'm now, like, officially the DBD Zombies guy? Boom!
I have to admit,
We'll talk about that a bit more in a bit, but this video is going to be me talking about my vacation, basically. I've never even taken a vacation as an adult that I paid for by myself, so this was, like, really cool for me. The 10-year get-together was the coolest experience of my life, bar none. There were a few contenders for that spot until the very end of it, which we'll get to in a bit. The Montreal event was kind of like TwitchCon, but everybody felt significantly more connected, as well as there being sort of an electricity in the air. I got to meet so many people that I never had, see friends that I'd made at TwitchCon 25 again, talk to all of my online friends in person, hang out, and have what ended up being an event that was seriously something special. I'm not going to talk too much about the reveals, as I'm sure you've seen everything by now. Just in case you haven't, here's the roadmap and a list of all the things on it. Boom. Now let's talk about me. The journey. How did I get to Montreal? Well, I caught my flight, originally flying into Toronto. I met a few Dead by Daylight players at my original airport. They were wearing a Sable Ward hoodie, and I felt super shy even introducing myself, like, what? Hey, I play DVD too, type shit. I would be getting into Montreal on the 12th, and the event was on the 14th. A day to recover and spend time with my partner before the actual event itself. Good planning, I'd say. I had a pizza by my gate, and then I boarded right afterwards. This is in the Toronto airport. Now, the second flight is where things went way off plan. The flight from Toronto to Montreal was about an hour, sure. I watched an episode of Welcome to Derry. It has a pretty good pilot, I must say, and I got sick on the plane. Really sick on the plane. This is kind of a big deal because I've been flying on planes since I was like 2 and visiting my nana in Ireland. I haven't gotten sick on one since I was like 12, so 15, 16 years ago. I got super fucking sick on this plane. Bummer. We land, I'm feeling bad, and we just don't get off the plane for an additional 3 hours. 3. I tweeted about it here, but essentially, we didn't have a gate for our plane. Then we got given an international gate that we couldn't disembark from because we were a flight from the same country, not international. So we sat at the gate and couldn't leave. Then we had to wait for a bus to get us off the plane. The bus was late. I didn't get on the first bus because of where I was seated. And then the second bus also took forever. So I was on this plane for 4 hours on a 1-hour flight. Awesome. Trip's off to a good start, right? Yeah. The next day, the 13th, I'm healthy as a horse, and I get to spend all day with my gorgolicious partner, hello Myra. So we go to brunch with a load of other Dead by Daylight people. We waltz around the town, we go shopping, we see the sights again, and then Myra and I have dinner at Mignon. My favorite meal in the entire world is steak frites. It's seriously delicious if you haven't had it. It's crispy, crunchy fries with steak in the most delicious sauce I've had anywhere in the world. I first had it in France when my dad lived there for work, and it's uncontested best thing I've ever tasted. And then after Mignon, for our food date, we go on a date that I planned at the Aura, Dead by Daylight reference, experience. The Aura experience. I had no idea what to expect. It just had really good reviews, but it was extremely emotional for me. I cried, you know how it is. Fun fact about this, when I planned it in May, I bought tickets for the wrong date, the 20th. Instead of the 13th. So thankfully I realized this before we went in the door, but I still felt like a mega chud. We had the experience and we danced together in the courtyard outside for a little bit because there's a guy playing live music. I'm feeling emotional, whatever. You know, it's romantic and shit. It's really cool. And then we will go back to our hotel. Next day, the day of the event, guess what? Horceror is sick. Like, going to puke again if I stand up sick. Not good for a once-in-a-lifetime event. So Myra goes to the event without me. I go back to bed for a nap and thankfully feel better when I wake up. So I get ready, I show up fashionably late at like 1 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. and it's so cool to see everyone at a place for one thing that you're at least kind of sort of known for. I find Myra, I meet a load of people that I've only ever seen online. I meet both new and old friends and get to see really all of the Dead by Daylight stuff. I got a little Maurice plushie from a claw machine. I get a free shirt for coming to the event. I get a poster of a 10-year graphic and loads of goodies. There are panels where you were able to hear behavior employees talk about the game design, sound design, outfit design, etc. There was an escape room based on Jason's Shack that I didn't do because the line was ridiculously long. And I got to meet like a whole bunch of people. Like I met Zoran from Dead Meat. I met Matthew Cote. I met Lilith. I met Otts briefly, and plenty of other people. Hens, who is fucking gigantic, by the way, he's like 6'5" or something, even said that he thought I would be taller. I'm like 6'2", but it was interesting because most people think I'm like shorter than I am. Maybe it's a vibe thing. I don't know, whatever reason. Anyway, the coolest part of the night was very easily the final stream where Behavior laid out their roadmap and everything that was to come. Again, all of this stuff. This stream ends up being 2 hours, and 5 minutes or so, and I'm obviously making a nuisance of myself every time they let me be on camera, as one does.
We're talking about the game's evolution right there, and you have also, like Mr. Otts, watched the game evolve over the years. What's it been like witnessing it, experiencing it, being there alongside the game and its journey?
Well, first of all,
because it turns out that Myra and I's seats were really good because they were right behind where Eric Pope would be whenever they came over to him in the audience to talk. That was all good and fun and, making a little bit of a fool of myself. But the coolest thing to happen to me in my life so far in putting this night into my top 3 easy was Behavior talking about hour 40 or so into the stream, and they were making custom tools for the community to make their own game modes, as well as making their own official ones, of course. So they then briefly show off a zombies mode, which is, it's cool, right? It's like kind of taking DVD and shifting it a little bit, a little pluck-in stretch. But what made this cooler was when they panned to the audience for a reaction, and somebody at Behavior, probably Dork, specifically made sure to get my reaction on the zombies mode. Me! Like, the Nemesis guy? I was already having a fantastic time and with all the reveals, but this was just the coolest shit ever. It really made me feel seen as a person and as a creator who really carved out my niche as the zombie killer in Dead by Daylight Nemesis. Wow, I can't even say how cool this was to me. Getting seen by literal millions of people as the Nemesis guy alive? What? It's just a level of cool that I never thought I would have because I'm humble or whatever. This was awesome, right? But this wasn't the thing that made it the #1 night of all time, right? It was a little bit later after we left the event. It was raining, still on the 14th. Kavinsky was playing, if you know Night Call, literally me, Drive. But we don't go to that. We go out with my partner and a good few of our friends to the bar to get a casual little bevy afterwards because the event itself was dry, obviously. And then we go to a second location for food. That was just because the bar closed the kitchen, right? It was pretty late. So what made this night and this trip especially magical on top of everything else that was already making it amazing, my date with someone that loves me and the DVD event, once in a lifetime thing, but what made this truly, truly magical was as Myra and I were leaving our friends after eating some delectable chicken to, go sleep, because again, it's late, it happened. Magic in the air. It genuinely did not feel real, even as I describe it, even with photo evidence and even with eyewitnesses. We were leaving the chicken place, maybe 100 feet away from it. When everyone else was getting their Ubers, we were just walking because we had a pretty close hotel. And an old, random Quebecois man wheeling his bike down the sidewalk stops us, points his finger to an outdoors, closed for the night restaurant, and says that there's a raccoon there. And this is genuinely one of the most serendipitous events of my entire life. The Dead by Daylight event was already the best one I've been to, right? Easily, despite being sick at the beginning of it. And to close the night out with seeing my first raccoon in person just made it perfect. Like, we gave this little raccoon a bonus chicken nugget, and he scurried off into the night. It was genuinely magical. Like, I ran back to tell everyone about the raccoon because, like, I love raccoons. You can probably tell. I nearly had tears in my eyes because I'm so happy. We say goodbye to everyone again and then walk back to our hotel and head to sleep and wake up to go home the next day. We're joined by Vicky and her boyfriend on the drive back to undisclosed Canadian city. And I spend the next few weeks at home with Myra and her chudlet pug, the Bug. She's a big sweetie, both the Bug and my partner. And then after all that, you know, we go on dates, we go out, we see movies. I saw Obsession, I saw The Backrooms, I saw Twilight for the first time. I saw the second Twilight for the first time. Like, we had a whole bunch of stuff, you know. I built a couch, pretty cool. And then I eventually do go home, and I plan to leave on Monday the 29th. So we drive to the airport, and there is a massive accident on the 401st that closes the whole thing, and I miss my flight. So I reschedule for the next day at the same time for 130 Canadian dollars. Thank you, Air Canada. Very cool. It was out of my control, but whatever. And we go back home for the night and come back the next day. I drove this time, and I make the flight, and we go home. I miss my girlfriend a lot. Long distance really sucks, guys. But now I'm back to the whole creation thing. I had a script written already, and I'm getting back into it, but I want to do a little video like this where, like, where's horceror been? But, like, I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube while I was gone, and I seriously can't thank you guys enough for that. On top of getting my Nemesis rework video over 100,000. It's almost at 110K even. That's just, like, so many people. I don't even know how to put into words how cool it is that many people on the planet care enough about something I created with my own two hands. Huh. Content creation? I kind of like the sound of that. But I'm being a little silly. I do want to say thank you for being part of my community. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the love and support, and I can't wait to see what's next. Thanks for watching, and happy birthday, Dead by Daylight. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.